Hello and welcome to Zephyr's Gambit, my YouTube channel. I am Matt in a hat and I will be running this game, and we are playing Star Wars with my good friends. We have Connor, Jim and Chris, and I am very privileged to be able to have them in this game. We are playing Slice of Desperation, a Star Wars adventure. Last time our characters went to find and source their ship. A ship that was wrangled for them by Omaha Delaga, a representative of the adventuring company, not dead yet. And he came with us, and we went to this abandoned Corellian shipyard where the ship was docked. We came across some Quarrens who also had come to that particular shipyard for this particular ship. We both had writs that claimed that the ship was ours, the Quarrens and ourselves, and we exchanged notes and saw that the Quarren's writ of ownership was in fact a forgery. And so we let the Quarrens know that indeed the ship was ours and not theirs, and that they had been duped. We took some of the Quarrens with us on board of our ship, and the rest of them boarded their transport and got on our way back to near Pando. I'm just going to say, unless someone has an issue, that we dropped them off. We made sure that they were safe, and they've basically left them to figure out what they were going to do about this situation, and hopefully get their money back or get a different ship. Is that okay with everyone that we let them do that, or does anyone want to help them undertake that as part of what we're doing?
Well,
That
I
sounds
think it's a
fun.
chance for us to make money. Yeah.
Oh,
All
I mean,
right.
we could certainly for a price drop them off somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
because maybe with the way that things have gone for them, near Pando hasn't doesn't necessarily leave them with a lot of options.
Right. Well, they would be happy to come with.
yeah.
So, yeah, they come back to us and they let us know that the person that gave them this writ, that gave them this proof of purchase, this forgery, has left near Pando, and they've done some research, and it seems uh, that he has um, basically tagged along with an Adazcore trading consortium across to Chuzala, where we've been, as part of this gate travel. So Dazkor are now using the gate on a fairly regular basis to do some of their trade, and eventually down the track they want to open new gates to new worlds, but they're still in the process of that. And so, yeah, this person that duped these Quarrens has gone along with an Adazcore trading group, and apparently is somewhere on Chuzala. But obviously, the Adazcore traders don't know that he's done this. It's only the Quarrens found out because we showed them, so it's very recent knowledge. And when they come back to us with this information, we also get a page from Skavath. And Skavath basically contacts us and says, we really appreciate, I really appreciate you helping the refugees get off Danton 6 and come here to near Pando. Um, I am helping them basically find a home, get established, that sort of thing here on Near Pando, and I've been pretty busy with that. I've recently gotten a request from assistance from one of my old pals, and he's calling for assistance to a distant planet known as, one second, Tamaz-An, and that's in T14. And I'm kind of got my hands full a little bit with the refugees, and I was wondering whether maybe you would be willing to help. It's an old friend of mine. His name is Eliha Khans, and I'll type that in the chat in just a moment. He is in charge of the Planetary Defense Force on Tamaz-An. And I understand that you're able to get there because you have this ship now, and in addition, you have a gate to Chuzala. So you could take your ship through the gate, end up on Chuzala, and it's only like a galaxy away. Tamaz-An is. So it's not out of the question that you would be able to do that. Obviously, I will pay for the fuel that you'll be using to get from Chuzala to Tamaz-An, and it would just be a personal favor to me and to my friend if you would be able to go along. I don't really have a ship at the moment. I'm still in the process of sourcing one, and look, you've proven yourselves to be quite capable, and I would really appreciate if you helped out. So with those two leads, both of them would require us to go through the gate again to Chuzala. Obviously, if we wanted to find this guy who's duped the Quarrens, and I'll give him a name in just a moment, we would need to do that on Chuzala, and obviously then take off and travel to Tamaz-An via ship. So we've got a couple of things to do at the same time. So let me, real quick, I should have come up with that beforehand, but that's okay. And we'll just click on, we'll make him Dathomirian? No. You know what? To make things interesting, this person that has duped them was a Bothan, which is very unusual, as Mineth would know. And his name is, and I'll type this as well in just a second, Troth. Alright, do that. And so here we go. So I'm going to type in both of these people's names. So we have Eliha Khans. I've got a character sheet for him. So he is the Defense Force rep. And we have Troth Sekuli, and he is a Bothan Forger. Alright, so I will reveal to you in the chat, in your what is it? Journal. Where is he? Tamaz-An, Eliha Khans. So I'm going to show to everyone. Okay, so I've rearranged our journal too, I should have said before we started the game. So now we have our player characters in one section, we have all of our crew in another section, all of their names. You can go into their character sheets and see little bits of information, and as you get to know them, You will find out more and more information. They've got a history. They've got motivations. Everything's generated for them, so you can go ahead and find out more about them. And I'll tell us a little bit about them as we get started here. And down all the way down into Muz-An, I'm gonna have NPCs in each area. So I've given us NPCs in Near Pando, which we know. I've given us some rebellion contacts, which is Ferrokai and Boytak. They're here on Near Pando at the moment, but they're just about on their way to leave. And obviously we're on our way to Tamazan, and we'll be able to meet Eliha there. Very good. So, before I introduce you properly to the crew, does anyone have any questions for the Quarrens or for our good friend Skavath?
Do we need to negotiate pay? Or is that just assumed?
From whom?
The Quarrens?
I mean, could they pay us if they wanted? Like, do they have enough money?
So, right now, they'll say that the majority of their money went to purchasing the ship. And obviously the purchase of the ship is a forgery, and so they're out of pocket a lot of money. They said, look, the ship, and they tell you the price that they paid as well. They paid 160,000 credits for this ship. Now, you know that in its current state, second-hand as it is and outfitted the way it is, you guys are only in debt 60,000. So they've paid 100,000 more credits than you are in debt. And it's like as if they were purchasing a new vessel. If this vessel was new, like brand spanking new, straight off production, 160,000 would be what it's worth. And so they're out of pocket 160,000 credits at the moment, and they know that they can probably get a cheaper ship than that. That was the ship that came up. That's what happened. They bought this one. So whatever credits they can get back, and that are the gap between their new ship, whatever it becomes, and this ship, the 160,000 credits, they will pay you that difference. So if we can find a ship that's relatively the same size and capabilities of this one, that's like, say, 120,000 credits, they will pay us 40,000 credits, which is the difference between the two ships.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm not really interested in money. If they've got stuff that they'd be willing to turn over, I'm good with that too. But until they can either A, get their money back or take care of some business, as far as I'm concerned, they probably are good at something. Whenever we land on a planet, tell them they've got X amount of time to get whatever they need to done, or try to get some trade off or get a job, and they can slowly make some of that money back to try to either pay for their ride along, because heck, there's already a crew. They don't have to mess with that, but they also can use that money to grease some pockets.
Right.
We're just facilitating him getting money to us and stuff to us.
Yeah, so what you're basically saying is come with us whenever we land, make some money and sort of pay for your way, and we'll carry you along with us and hopefully find you a ship and deal with the rest of it as it happens. Is that kind of what is that correct-ish?
Jeef is always down for anything like that.
Alright, so I'm going to put some Quarrens
What were their intentions for the ship? Like, what were their plans?
So they sort of want to do mercenary type work. They obviously have been saving for quite some time. They're a fitted out crew. They're ready to explore the galaxy. More than anything, though, they were surprised at the interior of this ship. What they were expecting to find was uh, a factory version of this, which has almost twice the storage capacity. They want it for a freighter more than anything. They want to trade, and they're willing to do some jobs on the side, but their primary drive is trade. So, having seen the inside of this ship, they wouldn't even really want it because, like I said, half of the storage capacity is used up with all of these quarters and medical facilities and other things, and they really need the storage so that cargo space so that they can trade larger amounts.
Nice. Okay. Well, they're good connections then, too.
Absolutely. All right.
So, Mineth would add to Jeef's idea, too, though, that, like, if there's some jobs that we can help them accomplish, they can maybe give us a cut, to help with the situation, too, like, to help pay their way. Like, that would work.
Sure.
So, like, that gives us some goods to sell, or...
Yeah, look, they're willing to...
Or ship or whatever,
Yeah, they're willing to work with you until a ship is found, so...
Perfect.
Alright, cool. I like that. We have... I'm just going to quickly find the name of the leader here. I do have him... Tessek. Yes, okay. So I'm just going to create a new character sheet. And I'm going to put him on board. How am I going to do this? No, I'll put him as a crew member, not that he's really a crew member. And I'm just going to call him Tessek. I'm not going to give you a lot of details at this stage, but we'll at least have him there that way. And I'm just going to put Quarren leader in his bio info like that. So he's now in the crew section just because he's on board. And all the rest of the Quarren are there too, but he's the one that's their spokesperson. He's the one that we can get to know if we want. He's the one we're going to be dealing with. Cool. So that's all sorted. Can I hear any other ideas? What you guys want to do next? Connor, do you have any ideas about what you'd like to say or what you'd like to do? What the next port of call would be?
Zella's gonna put out feelers and make sure no one's looking for him.
All right. What I'll get you to do then is just in the chat of Roll20, just type /roll D100 for me. 80. So you put out your feelers. You do that to a fairly wide extent. Probably spend a good couple hours or whatever, however long you want, even a whole day if you wanted to. And you find that no one's really looking for you at the moment.
Excellent. Other than that, it doesn't really have many plans right now.
All right. So the Quarrens are in the VIP quarters. We're on near Pando right now, but we have these two things to do, which would be to go through the gate to Chuzala, and then obviously from Chuzala, probably the Quarrens will hop off in Chuzala and try and find this Troth Sakoli who duped them. Yeah, so they probably wouldn't come with us all of the way to Tamazan. They'd probably sit. So are we in a position that we want to do that? Is there anything else on near Pando that we want to do first? We do have obviously a number of things in near Pando that are going on. You have the stuff with Pata, but you've kind of cleared all of that up to your knowledge. With Rorsk and what Zello did last time to clear the waters and to sort of reset you to a neutral playing field with Pata. That's kind of sorted. What else is going on? There's the refugees that you could check in with, but you've already spoken a little bit to Skavath, so he's able to give you a bit of a report on how that's going. They're settling in pretty good. So anything else that we want to do before we sort of shoot off again in our ship this time to new locations?
Do you guys want to, well, I guess Connor doesn't know who Carson is, but do we want to touch base with Carson since we're going back to Chizala and see if he has another shipment?
It's up to you guys if you want.
I like Carson.
Wouldn't hurt to have some more goodwill with him, right?
Certainly wouldn't hurt. No.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
think
Zello real quick. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so, yeah. I think we should maybe consider, seeing if he's got anything else he wants to go there.
All right. Sure. Yeah. So you go and visit Carson. So how long has it been? It's not been that long. All right. Let's see.
A couple days or something. A week.
Yeah. So look, Carson's happy to see you guys. But he doesn't really have any business out there right now. He's still sort of so what generally his stuff is monthly, but he says if you find any foreign fabrics that could be useful, or even decorative objects of different races, ones that perhaps are a little bit out there and not that common, that could be interesting to put up in the cantinas as displays. He would be down to pay for those sorts of objects. So we're talking about race-specific fabrics and race-specific decorative objects.
Nice. All right. Sounds good.
Ones that are sort of cultural and meaningful and pretty because, you know, or have a theme that he can work with.
Okay.
Yeah. So while he doesn't have specific work for you right now, he's willing to pay if you find some stuff that he can use.
Excellent. I can't think of anything else.
All right. Cool. Then we will jet off. So we rock up to the Malabar construct. Ossa powers the device. We are able to fly through the gate, and we end up on Chuzala, where we wanted to go, because all of the aiming and everything is all fixed. Excuse me, and there's no hidden droids in the ship to kick us off course.
No, my droid is with us, right?
Your droid is here, yes.
Okay, good.
Hidden.
Glad it's not causing trouble this time around.
No, he completely.
I have. Yeah.
He completely sort of formatted.
Made it over.
Reset his settings. Yeah, so on Chuzala, pretty much you let the Quarrens hop off, and you estimate the time that it's going to take you to get from here to Tamazan, and maybe, I don't know, you cater a week there just in case things go a little bit strange, and then the time that it'll take you to come back, and you set up a penciled in at least meeting time with the Quarrens. You obviously can contact them if things go quicker or if things go longer. So yeah, you guys can have, because within this sector, T14, you can pretty much have communication to anywhere else in T14, and each of those zones, you can't really. It's difficult to communicate outside of them. A little bit more difficult, but so yeah, you've set up communication with them. Just before you leave, given that you have a ship and given that you are going to Tamazan, the Quarrens actually come back to you and say, just before you take off, you might be interested in this. You might not, but Star Hunter's Intergalactic Menagerie is currently on Chuzala, and they are looking to fly to Tamazan, the same destination that you are. And from what we heard, they're actually looking for an escort, an armed escort, to fly along with their caravan of ships to Tamazan. I hear that they're paying good money for that, and there's probably going to be a number of other vessels that go along. If you want to be a part of that, you know, you can contact them, and he'll give you Tessek will give you contact datapad with Star Hunter's Intergalactic Menagerie on there. And it's kind of
You're
up to you.
supposed to be an armed escort?
You could be part of it, yes.
We're armed, and I mean our ship is armed and everything. I mean, I see it has you know, guns, but like,
yeah, so they're stock standard. Basically, as you know, This campaign is focused on getting from a place to a place and then exploring the place rather than the space combat. So if you agree to it, basically it's a narrative agreement. It doesn't mean that there's going to be a space battle necessarily. It means that you are narratively part of the journey, and if something does happen, basically we'll kick you out of space, travel onto wherever this is happening on a smaller scale and put you there. Because I'm not equipped or knowledgeable enough to do space battles. I specifically made this campaign to not have them.
Cool. Cool.
But I can pretty much tell you nothing's going to happen. This is just you getting paid to effectively be there and help them out, so to speak. So we're okay with that. We're okay being part of the caravan, part of the process of getting them to.
Minith is definitely okay with that if everyone else is.
All right.
I'm down.
Cool, you're down, Chief.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it happens.
And there's tons of stuff on the ship to play with.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys basically fly to Tamazan. It takes a good amount of time, but you get there in one piece. There were a couple of little encounters along the way. Some raiders and that, but because there are a number of vessels, including your own, that were protecting the zoo or circus, it's kind of a combination of the two, really. They were run off pretty quickly, and so you arrive on Tamazan. You're in need of a bit of rest because living on the ship, while it's serviceable, it's not exactly the most comfortable. Fairly, I wouldn't call it. I'd call it cramped, but not. Yeah, it's not the best. So you sort of find yourself in need of a good night's rest. You sleep for the night, and in the morning, just before you head off to meet with your with the contact that you were given, a representative of the intergalactic menagerie basically contacts you and says, look, overnight we've had a bit of an issue. It's probably not really your duty to help us, but if you were to help us, there would definitely be something additional in it for you. So they've given us 500 credits for escorting them already. They say, look, we don't know exactly what your bonus will be, but if you agree to help us, look, we're kind of got our hands full setting up everything so that we can sell tickets to, and that's our way that we sort of make money, is tickets. But one of our exhibits has gone missing. There's a breeding pair of Dianogas that have gone missing, and no, it's not exactly what you signed up to help us with. But if you were able to come and help us with that, we'd give you a bit of a bonus. If you say no, like, whatever, I'm not going to hold it against you. But you've helped us out already, so we thought we'd ask. And we've got our hands full, so we'll be hiring someone no matter what happens. So we thought maybe you'd want to.
What do you think, guys?
Dianogas are dangerous, but you two seem capable.
Do we have scraps around here for me to make a Dianogus trap?
A trap? Yeah, there would be enough stuff around to make a Dianoga trap.
What do you know about them, Zello?
Well, I mean, they're bad news. Like, they're gross, and I want to stay away from them for the most part.
Okay.
Except when they make us money.
Okay. Well, I don't know how helpful that will be in helping us find them or catch them. What can we? So I guess she turns to the person from the group and asks them, well, what can you tell us? What do we need to know to help you find this? Should we take on the
right.
the additional...
So they tell you kind of what their setup is. So each ship is has different exhibits on them, and what they do is they open the entire ship, and they're like sections of a zoo where like there'll be like reptiles or there'll be like and they're big exhibits. They're things that you can like walk through. Like an acreage almost of some of these creatures have acreage within these ships. They're quite large, and so the Dianogas have been up to date, kept in the dangerous creatures exhibit, and they are kept in an exhibit with water because they're aquatic, or amphibious at least. And it seems that they're not there. We think that possibly they would go somewhere where there's going to be water. They don't necessarily need water to survive, but that's where they're most comfortable, in water. So we can't imagine that, that they'd go to any exhibits that didn't have water. And our underwater exhibits are in the next section, or the next ship along. And so the next ship along has a large amount of underwater exhibits. And basically what people do is the tanks are like made with passageways in between them, and the passageways are obviously not underwater while the tanks are. So basically, and they connect all the way through in big corridors, and there's a lot of them, so it would take some time, but
sounds fascinating. So how big are they?
The Dianogas?
Yes.
They're medium size. They're probably about, like, if you laid one down on the ground and you spread out their tentacles long enough, they'd probably reach about maybe 10 feet. But they don't operate that way. Their tentacles kind of curl up as they're swimming, and so they're more like sort of average human size, but a little bit more bulbous than a human. They would take up an entire 5-foot square, for example, instead of just being like a humanoid shape. They're more of a circle kind of shape with long tentacles that come out of them.
So if we find them, you're going to catch them. You don't expect us to wrangle them or corral them. You just want us to help you find them, correct?
Well, we can give you some tranquilizers that will help out, but we don't really have time. We're kind of got our hands full. So if you could do that, we're willing to, we can transport them. We have lifts and special trucks, I guess you would call them, for that. But if you can catch them, that would really save us a lot of time. Find them and catch them is kind of what we're asking.
Dibs on driving.
Out of character, Mineth, do you know what a Dianoga is?
No.
Remember the scene in the first Star Wars movie where they're in the trash compactor and the big squid thing?
Yes.
It's one of those.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
That's
I figured you should know thy enemy.
But it may be on land right now, so hopefully it won't be as difficult.
Alright.
Garbage may not be involved.
Yeah.
Trash compactor's almost certainly not.
I mean, it would be copying, and you know, we're not into that. All right. So, do we want to take this request? We don't have to.
I mean, in character, Zello is very much about not doing this.
He was.
All right. Very good.
And in the same, Jeef is very. Why not?
Right. I mean, we have a big debt, so.
Yeah. Well, they haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't promised money yet. They've said we don't know what bonus you're gonna get, but we'll give you something.
Right.
Do we
Mineth
want to
is
negotiate what that something is?
willing. I mean, at this point, you know, even if it's goods or as long as it's not a critter.
Well, it's so they run.
Let's go ahead and take it. Why not? You're right. We've got a big debt. The sooner we pay off that debt,
right.
The
And
sooner the ship is mine. Ours.
you know, if it's not credits, it'll be something we can do something with. So
yeah.
And aren't we also responsible for paying the crew?
No, the adventuring company Not Dead Yet is responsible for that. We don't have to keep tabs on that, but we do have to, whenever we get paid from an official job, a percentage of that goes straight to Dad's Corp.
Not Dead Yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
Are you keeping track of what that percentage is?
Yes.
Or did you give us 500 and we need to take something out of the 500?
No. I'm not going to make you do math.
Yay, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I like math. But...
So, when you do an official job, I will be telling you this is an official job, and I'll tell you an amount has been taken out. All right.
Nice.
If I don't say those things, it means that you've been paid by someone else who isn't officially a DazCorp business, and if you want to use some of that to pay off our debt sooner, then you tell me I want to use 300 credits of this or however much amount to pay off this debt quicker, and then I will take it off the amount. So does that make sense? So we've got basically two different types of quests. A DazCorp official ones that automatically have that happen, and we have additional side stuff that we just do that we can either save that money, buy stuff that we want with it, or we can use it to pay off our debt quicker. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So we're taking the job. I will get you then to make me so you can search the vessels, that sort of thing. And so to do that, let's roll some checks here. And before we roll some checks, let us generate our... Hang on. I want to pop this out so that I'm not... And we'll go over here and we'll clear our pool. And if we can roll our destinies, please, while we're going. Alright. Too dark. Another dark.
How do?
By the way, Zello, this is normal for the two of us to continue to roll dark side points the whole time.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Do I just roll Destiny?
Roll
that
Destiny.
button? Cool,
Yep.
cool.
Yep, it's just our team.
Excellent.
And I will quickly get Astalia. There, we've got one light side.
I keep forgetting about
I forgot Astalia was with us. Yeah.
Oh, she's there. She's quiet. But she's there. So we've got that. So in order to track these things, we can use. 1 second. Let me grab this. So skills would be things like. Looking. Computers. You can use computers. You can use survival. You can use a lore, maybe a xenology or just lore. Any of those.
Wow. Okay.
Computers it is.
All right. So
What's the difficulty on that?
It's an average check.
Okay. I can put that in.
You can put that in. Thank you.
Anything, any like setbacks or anything with that?
Yes. Let's add one setback.
Okay.
Because, you know, we're in an aquatic tank place, and these things are aquatic, and it's, yeah, lots of aquatic creatures.
Okay. Let's see what happens.
Wow.
I'll
So
take
it's not a success, but there are
No
two
success.
triumphs.
Holy cow, Chief.
So
I've never seen that happen.
without
No, me either.
without having a success, what are we going to do with these triumphs?
I don't know. Come back to me. I'm
All
gonna
right.
take a look at what some of my options are.
Yeah, sure.
You got to find out the Dianoga's motivations.
That's right.
Yeah, like information makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you can find out some information.
So, okay, so using computers, what I guess what path of looking for them is computers? Like what was I able to do?
So okay. So every creature has like a biosignature, right? So you can scan by biosignature.
Gotcha.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Get that.
Oh yeah, like using a scanner. Okay.
Yeah, come back to me.
Alrighty.
I'll come up with something really good.
Cool. And obviously in there, you know, you could find out more information about them, biology, all that sort of stuff. You know, just by looking up the Google reference. Yeah. So while you're doing that, we're walking up and down these corridors, looking at all of these exhibits. A lot of them are dark at the moment because they haven't opened officially. When they do open, all of these exhibits will be lit up. So you don't see a lot of creatures at the moment, unfortunately. You just see shadows in the dark.
So are we specifically looking at the one that they escaped from?
Right now, what do you call them? The representative has basically said the most likely place for them is going to be in the aquatic section. So we're looking in the aquatic section because that's where all of the water is. That's where these things are the most comfortable. So that's where they're most likely to be.
Nice. Okay.
So we're walking up and down these corridors with windows on either sides that have tanks full of water and they're like full aquariums. So there's like seaweeds and castles made of rock and all that sort of stuff that you find in aquariums, but on a large scale.
Nice. Okay. So, we can shine a light in there then, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got plenty of lights that you can make with your data pads, or if you've actually got. I think you took the beams from the gangs as well, so you've got them.
Yes, we did.
So you can shine them in. Yeah. A number of the exhibits have, don't touch the glass or tap the glass written on them, hazards, that sort of thing.
Okay. So be careful not to do that. So what do you want for a roll for that?
What, just shining lights in there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to roll. What are you trying to achieve?
Cool. Hoping to spot them, just,
All right, roll me perception. Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
looking for those hidey spots.
Yeah, roll me perception then. Same difficulty, exactly. So 2 purples and a black. Do you want me to put that in?
I can do it.
Okay,
that's fine.
Sure.
It's probably okay. Perception right here. Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we're getting advantages, and not much else apparently.
So here's what I would like to do, if you will allow it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with those 2 triumphs, what I've been able to do with the scanning is, let's say that with those 2 triumphs, what I'm able to do is, instead of finding the creature, I find a small, non-hostile creature that they don't have in the menagerie currently.
Yep. Okay.
Is that worth 2 or is that worth 1?
I'll give it to you for 1.
Okay. Then with the second one, what I'd like to do is I'm in mid-process, so I didn't succeed. So successes and failures canceled out. And with that other triumph, what I want to have happen is I've been able to, instead of finding it specifically and going, there it is, through deduction, I know where it's not. It should be somewhere in this sector. So I've been able to kind of really focus in on that and find out where it's not rather than where it is.
All right. So given that, and given that roll was before Mineth's roll, Mineth, could you clear out your pool and give me a boost just by itself, because Jeef has narrowed it down. Okay, more advantages. So there's 3 advantages floating at the moment.
No successes today.
So Connor then, given that Jeef has isolated the possibilities down to this one corridor, Mineth is walking down this particular corridor, shining her light into each of the tanks as she goes, looking. She can't spot what we're looking for, but there's 3 advantages on the table that we'd like to pass in your direction. How do you want to how do you want to use these advantages for whatever you want to, however you want to achieve finding these creatures, knowing that you didn't want to do this in the first place?
I don't really maybe this is my unfamiliarity with the system, but I don't know what I would use those advantages to do other than I want to look better, which is a very boring answer.
Right. So, I mean, so your character, it sounded like your character knew what Dianogas were, right?
Yes.
So he specifically is wary. He knows that they're dangerous. I'm going to say that what basically we're going to use these advantages for boosts, right? Your character is especially wary. You're just like you're waiting for one to like jump down from the ceiling or something because these things scare you a little bit. So I'm going to give you 3 blues to add to your perception rolls as you're like extra just like hoping that one's not going to jump on you and extra wary. So
Yeah, I'm full on alien. You know, 5 meters that's inside the room. That's where I'm at right now.
And we can even like narratively, those boosts are you may be on the lookout right now and not really trying to help. You're just trying to make sure you don't get jumped by them. But from the information that you're hearing from me and from Minith, that's like all of a sudden your own knowledge of the monster is like, oh, well then now you're starting to have a better idea of where to look so that you don't get
cool.
rather than
yeah.
So it's just more of you're hearing everything that we're spitting out at each other because we're used to talking to each other all the time, and you're just soaking that up and going, oh.
Right.
Interesting.
So it's going to be the same difficulty, 2 purples and a black, but whatever you roll, you're going to have 3 blues or boosts onto it.
Okay, I hate to be annoying, but how do I set this up?
I will set it up.
You're not annoying at all. You're doing just
so.
Then I'll have to try harder.
So while he's setting it up, so what he can do is he can put in the setbacks and the boosts on it, and all you have to do is roll your skill.
Roll. Yeah.
There's a dice right beside your skill.
Yeah.
And it would roll those dice naturally. Or when you look at your skills, there's a little box off to the side that says modifiers with a question mark.
Okay.
And so, like, you're using your vigilance or your perception.
Perception.
So with your perception, you could just in that gray box to the side, you've got 3 blues, so you just put 3B and then a space. You don't even need a comma. Versus whatever the difficulty is. Is it 3 purples still? 2 purples?
Well, so yeah, that's one way of doing it. Yeah, it's 2 purples.
That's just a way for you to set it up and have it there.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'll keep that in mind in the future.
Yeah, so for now, just press roll, and I've got it all set up. All right. Well, that's perfect.
Wonderful.
So...
Thank you for successes.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So not only do you succeed, but we have some advantages on the table that we can do something with. So, all right. What you find is that there is a series of 3 tanks, and I'm going to move us over now to these tanks. 1 second while I copy. Alright, so I know that this map it looks completely underwater, but because I just took this from somewhere, basically only the enclosed areas are tanks, right? Those enclosed areas are the tanks. So on the left side, oops, I'm just adjusting your side. On the left side, you have a tank, and that has the 2 Dianogas in it. In the middle, the next tank along has a rather large, very large creature that looks extremely scary. You don't know what it is just at the moment. And in the final tank is empty. It looks like the leftmost tank was empty until these Dianogas entered. Each of the pathways between the tanks are closed off currently, so they don't have access to each other right now. But you have controls that would give you the option of opening one of those if you wanted. With a little bit more information, in the leftmost tank, there is only a staging area to get into it. There is no trap or cage or any of those things. In the middle tank, with the big one, there is a cage in there, and what the cage would allow you to do, if you were to get access to it, would be to separate the two Dianogas so that you would only engage with one at a time. The final rightmost room or tank also doesn't really have anything that you can use. So, I mean, your initial set out would be, if we want to tackle both of them at the same time, you can just hop into the leftmost tank through the staging area, which would be here, and sort of go and wrangle them. If you wanted to move them into the middle tank, how you'd have to do that is you'd have to sort of open the connection over here and usher the big one in there, close that one off, open this one, and sort of flush them out into the bigger one where there's the cage so that you could separate them. Doing that is as simple as, pressing buttons that you've got control of, so you can shift it around if you like, or you can just go straight in. Totally up to you. You have the battle map, and the options are yours. If you think of other options, you can think of other options too. But that's what you've got at this stage.
Do we know what that big thing is?
No. It's big and it looks dangerous.
Can I roll a Xenology to find out?
Yes, you can.
Nice.
And Jeef's already working his way over to whatever the mechanism that opens the gates is.
Right. Oops. Let me just... Yep, so, alright, so this... okay.
And there's no, like, plate or anything, like you have in a zoo that explains what things are?
Funnily enough, there probably is, yes. Good thinking. 1 second while I go and just quickly grab something quick here. Where is it? Why can I not find what I'm looking for? 1 second, guys.
Okay.
You do find a plaque in the meantime.
Nice.
And the plaque reads this. 1 second, I'll just type it. So. Single alpha. So, yeah, the plaque reads Globa, single alpha predator.
Okay. Well, let's see if we know anything about it. So
it's a xenology. It's going to be hard, with a setback.
With a setback.
Yeah, just for knowledge anyway.
This would be.
What's it going to take to? Oh, go ahead. What's it going to take to open that cage?
Pressing buttons and pulling the doohickey.
Oh man!
Wow.
Apparently, Mineth has never been on an aquatic planet.
You know what, Mineth?
Not study basic biology.
You search your knowledge. You search your knowledge.
Oh, he's got too many purples on there.
There is too many purples. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you would have 2 less. So you'd have a success in there. And
2 threats and a success.
2 threats and a success. Yeah. With those 2 threats, I'm going to give you fear. So you are afraid, and with that success,
I like that.
With that success, let me pull up a little bit of a description here, real quick. I'll pull out. So it's a fish-like amphibian, weighing about 6,500 pounds. They continue to grow as they age. They are kind of a hybrid between fish and eel with insectoid qualities. Basically, let's see, the little bit back from their head are 4 long tentacles, 2 on each side, 2 on the top side and 2 on the underbelly. Their heads are spherical with a beak-like nose. They have 3 eyes, one set atop the other. Apparently they have the ability to influence one's mind.
Lovely.
And they secrete viscous grey fluids, much like mucus, which can transform air-breathing creatures into something that they're not. They can morph air-breathing creatures. And transform them into other things.
I definitely don't want to get anywhere near that thing. That is a scary creature. I don't like it.
I do not like your kick so high. I do not like them, samurai.
The last thing that you know, with that only 1 success, is that they actually do not die of old age. They only die from violence or disease or other things. They can live forever otherwise.
What kind of diseased item do I have?
Yeah.
I sneeze at it. Mission complete.
I don't think they'd take kindly.
Give it a week. It'll be dead.
I mean, that would be a very interesting way to rid yourself of a nemesis alpha predator, yes.
So is this one full grown?
You think that they could get bigger, but I mean, it's pretty big. Those
Big.
squares are 5 foot each. It's currently taking 25 feet by 25 feet.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We can take them.
Yeah.
Well, you two can. I'll cheer you on.
Luckily, we don't need to. We just push some buttons.
Push some buttons and move it around.
Move it around. I don't want to get close to that at all.
All right. So, Jeef, being that you're the one that wanted to operate the controls,
Chief button pusher.
Yeah. It's really not difficult. I don't need a check. So what I will do though, and I'll get you to think on this. You will need to tell me exactly the process that you undertake, because given the circumstances, what you do and the order of things that you do them could change the narrative completely. So, so tell me the order in which you do things, and we will adjust the narrative based on that rather than on a dice roll.
Okay. Cool.
So, Chris is just like, oh no.
I'm going to open the passage from the center to the right.
Yep. This passage.
Wait for it to move over. Mm-hmm. Then close that passage.
All right.
Then I'm going to open the passageway to the left.
Yeah.
From the left to the center, and wait for one to go through, and then close it. Now, how do I get in there?
All right. So there is there's platforms to each one. So the platform to the left one is just to your left over here. The platform to the middle one is here, and the platform to the right one is here. Basically, okay. There's an airlock in between. So you basically get yourself into the airlock, close the airlock, go through.
And these are cages, not tanks?
They're tanks. So,
and are they full of liquid?
Yes.
Okay. So, what kind of gate is separating each of the tanks? Is it bars? Is it a panel?
It's a full, like, Duracrete door. Which is like an airway. It's like it's a space. It's just a space doorway. It's an airlock. So you basically pull yourself into the airlock, close the outer door, then open the water door so that the water and it'll equalize the pressure first. Then the door will open. That sort of thing. So it does the same thing as space does. You have to equalize the pressure each time you go through a section to the next section before it will open.
Okay.
All of you can fit into the airlock at once if you want.
And so we're basically going to have an underwater fight with this thing, is what you're saying?
Yes. But there
balls.
Are...
Okay.
You do have, because the staff gave you them, you do have breathing apparatuses on you. So you can exist underwater with these breathing apparatuses for
cool.
An hour.
Wetsuits and...
Yeah. Wetsuits, the whole shebang.
Can we lure them?
Well, you've made it so that you're only engaging one at a time.
Oh boy.
Okay. What if I want to open the airlock door from the center into the airlock?
So, okay, you could. To what purpose?
To what Minute said. What can we lure it into the airlock and then shut the door behind it and then open it so that it's stuck in our territory instead of its territory?
I don't see why not. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take checks to do that, but absolutely, that's a possibility.
Yeah. Well, let's give it a shot. I'm going to be over on the panel, so I'm not really going to be the one trying to talk Squiddy Bulbous thing into coming over here. So y'all go on to that.
All right.
And all of a sudden, water rushes into the airlock.
Yeah, so the airlock is there, and it's gets filled with water. So how are we going to lure it? That's up to the others. So it's sort of swimming around.
I don't know.
I can tell you this much: Zello is not getting in that tank.
Well, he doesn't have to. If we can lure it, like Jeef said, into the airlock.
We have like laser pointer things, right? Like the little light things.
We really want it in the cage, don't we? Not the airlock.
Well, it depends on how you want to fight this thing. So, because characters might have different ideas about what's good. At the moment, Jeef's suggesting that we fight it outside of the tank, so that we're not in the water.
That is a smart idea, Jeef.
But in order to do so, we have to lure the creature out of its territory.
If we can,
and seeing that y'all are kind of hesitant to do this, go, well, I've got another idea. I mean, interesting.
Well,
why don't I go ahead and just open this other airlock door too and empty out the tank of water?
Won't that kill it?
No, it's so it breathes air and water.
Oh no, right, but
that would mean that you would be effectively flooding the tunnel with water.
That doesn't seem like I don't know about that. And they might not appreciate us flooding their passageways and then putting them in a position of having to set this tank back up. But the airlock idea actually doesn't sound bad, and then they'd already be in the airlock, making it easier for them to pick it up, right?
Go ahead.
All right, Jeef, I'm with you on that. Let's give that a try, I guess.
Okay.
So I guess I'll take one of the trank things.
Yeah. So the trank guns are light ranged weapons that will do an amount, we don't know what yet, of damage to these things, or strain damage to these things to knock them out.
Okay.
So the question that I'm going to throw out to you is, what process are we going to use to try and lure it into the airlock?
Can we do we have access to whatever it eats?
Sure.
Food is always a good...
It says sustenance. Weird.
So, I mean, we didn't do that, but there would be a way to do that. You just have to, narrate going back and getting some food and coming back again. You don't have it with you right at the second. You could spend a story point for it.
Oh, look, we have it. Yeah. In the same way, once we get it into that airlock, because by the nature of an airlock, of what it does, I can remove all the water, or I should be able to remove all the water from that airlock back into the tank and leave it stuck in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you tell me. So you decide how you're going to draw it out, and I'll make sure all the devices work to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So let's use a light side point. We have food.
We have food.
We thought of that in advance.
Yeah. Good.
All right. Who's dangling the carrot?
I think it might be you, Mineth, because I'm pretty sure
it's
or Estelia. Estelia could do it. Look, she'll do it. She'll be the bait.
Estelia's a better fighter than I am, so maybe I will dangle the food then and leave her free
to engage with the creatures.
Jab it. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna pull it down because it's hungry. All right, you have the food. It's in the airlock. Jeef can do his thing. And so what's your process of this, Jeef? The order of things.
Close the door from the airlock into the center. Remove the water from the airlock.
Open the
door.
All right.
Then open the door.
All right. So I'm going to be technically harder on us as far as initiative goes compared to what I have been doing. What I've been doing up to date, because I didn't really care about vigilance or cool, but technically the way that the system works is that if we're prepared, we roll cool, and if we're not, we roll vigilance. So I think we should do that according to the system. So we will be rolling cool here because we are prepared. Now let me make sure that my dice pools are empty. Yep. So it is simply an opposed check. So all of you can roll. All right. And
sorry, Roll20 is freaking me out right now.
It does that. Oh, golly.
Wow.
So just roll the skill?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Cool. No pun intended.
Run away.
Okay.
Oh.
And the creature...
I'm a good, cool boy.
Oh, yeah.
I guess. The guy who doesn't want to go in. Figures.
Yeah. I need to modify Mineth in a minute too. So the creature will let's see, vigilance, cool. All right, cool of. Okay. So Mineth, on top of what you already got, can I get you, please, to roll me a black just by itself? Because you are scared, narratively, nothing. All right, so you still just got the advantage.
Doesn't mean my knees are shaking.
I'm scared.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the creature go before you, though, in this scenario. So we're gonna have PC, enemy, PC. And because Zello got a triumph, we can narrate something there.
Maneuver? if you don't already have something drawn, or if you want to step back from it as well. Aim at it for free.
I'm going to take aim.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All right. Then we have 3 PC slots. So, how do we want to do this?
Narratively, it seems like I would need to go next because we have to lure it before we can do anything, right?
Well, it's already out here.
It's already in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up,
oh, well then... Yeah.
Or question, is the fact that we're in initiative, is that the door has already been opened?
Yes.
Initiative? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
maybe... aim again and shoot it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Because as soon as Estelia gets in, then we're gonna be upgrading the difficulty of range checks against it. So, yeah. Someone shoot it. Someone do it.
All right, I'll shoot it.
All right, you are. Well, right now, the way that the battle map is set up, you are at short range. I will do that. We are adversary 1, so that becomes a red. Yep. So you are free to roll your skill check. Now you're using the tranquilizer gun?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right.
So, would I just use my blaster pistol for the
It's just ranged light, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Look at that.
Okay.
I got 2 successes. Oh my gosh.
All right. You did.
So 6, 7, 8.
Yeah. Beautiful. So, okay. Let me do this. Right. 8. 2, 6. All right. Very good. And you've got a threat there, so take a strain.
Alrighty.
As, you know, even shooting this thing, it's still pretty damn scary to you.
Were we supposed to be at 0 strain at the beginning? We were, huh?
Yeah, because last time we were going to have an encounter, but you guys resolved it diplomatically, so...
Yep, and then we rested, and we traveled,
and yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm guessing another player. Do you want to stay where you are, Mineth, before we move on?
I would like to step out of the way and give room for whoever's next to get in there.
All right. Well, drag your token to wherever. So in this encounter, every 3 squares will be a range band.
Let's see. Chief's over there because he's. Guess I'll do that.
Okay. Very good. Does Jeef or Zello want to go next?
Well.
All right.
Yeah. It's at medium range, right?
Yes.
So then, I will move.
You just need to move 1 square if you want to get within short.
Oh. Figure that from where I am right now, I'm at the side of the airlock and the door didn't open.
Right.
And move.
Yeah.
I'm going to move to here.
All right. You can get a shot off.
And, yep, my blaster pistol innate talent quick draw. So I get to use that as an incidental to draw my weapon. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 strain to aim. We'll fire at it.
Okay.
Have that red in. Have the 1 red in the pool.
You have. Okay. So it's just a red at this stage.
You still have that in your pool?
I do now. All right. Cool.
That's what I was hoping for. When nuts. I'm going to do a whole whopping total of 7 stun damage. Then my gun instead of a trank gun.
Alright.
And I'm going to go ahead and roll a crit on it with 3 of those.
Alright.
Where are the criticals on this?
So let me just see. Let me just check and see if this is what I'm meant to be. No. So just what I might do, because
There's a roll critical, and it may not be for me though.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'll just quickly add critical. Roll 100. I'm gonna show as token action. We're going to visible to all players. We're going to save changes, and we're going to put in bar. So at the bottom of your screens now, hopefully. So in the right hand side, there's all of the there's chat, there's journal. Go to collection tab for me, and there should be a checkbox to show macro quick bar. If that is unchecked, please check it. And then you should have a button called critical on the bottom of your screens, hopefully, if everything's worked. On the left hand side, underneath the names of our characters. On the map, yeah.
I don't see anything, man.
I see where it's maybe supposed to be showing up, but there's not actually a button.
I can just click roll critical and take it off of my list, but you'll have it.
All right.
I'm just gonna refresh.
All right. It says staggered cannot perform an action on next turn.
Beautiful. 32.
Nice.
That's awesome. So it can't act, which is perfect.
That is perfect.
And with that last blue, like I'm just pulling the trigger like crazy, hoping I hit it. I get a real good shot in, but with all of its dodging and it's literally leaving itself wide open, that moment of stunned kicks in immediately, and you see an even better opportunity, giving yourself a boost, another boost on top of that.
Okay. Lovely. All right. Zello, would you go before Estelia or after Estelia?
Definitely after. He's going to wait and see.
All
Part
right.
of him is hoping that they take care of it before he has to do anything.
All right. Estelia will move up.
Oh, so then it doesn't go to Zello then. That boost goes to whoever goes next, because I only have one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nice.
We'll go to Estelia then. We'll come up to it and we'll melee. Why? Because that. There we go. That's more like it. Click. Then it's going to be well, it's going to be 1 purple and 1 red because it's an adversary 1. Alright. Cool. Enter. And melee. Okay, it's a wash.
Oh, lightsaber, huh?
Wow.
Technically, it's an ancient sword right now.
Blue's missing.
But she is using the lightsaber skill.
Your boost is missing, though. You might want to roll the boost.
Sure. Roll just a boost.
Success.
Yeah.
Be it all about Jeef.
Well, it's nothing. I don't know why the red's still in there, but it's nothing.
What a bummer.
You have 2 reds in your initial roll.
Right.
Yep, you do.
So if I take a red out, then yeah, if I take a red out, it's a success.
Nice.
With it's a success.
Reds.
So she will do 2, 5, 6. Is that right? 2, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 damage to it. Yeah, that's correct. And that's not great, but I mean it's better than nothing. Let's track its wounds then, because.
And she shot with tranks too, right?
No, she is using her.
No.
She's using her sword.
Okay.
So let me just put his maximum health into there, so that we can 0, and then we will do. So we've done 5, 7, other 2, which is 9. All right. Yep, that looks correct. So, it's going upwards. So, it's nearly it's nearly bloodied. Should have done it in red. That's okay.
Do we know how much did they only give us a limited amount of tranquilizer, or did they say like only shoot them once with the trank, or
you have enough for the encounter. Effectively, what the trank is exactly the same as your light blaster, except it has Pierce 2.
Okay.
So basically it'll do 2 extra points of strain to the creature than your blaster will.
Okay. So we can keep firing away. Okay, cool.
You have enough for the encounter, yes. For both, you have enough. Unless there's a despair, in which time, obviously, your trank will run out.
Things will change, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's technically the creature, so it can't take an action. Can it still take a maneuver? I'm guessing so. I don't really know.
Yeah, that'd be wild if you could just shut it down entirely.
So its maneuver. Gosh. Is Is grappling in Star Wars an action or is it a maneuver?
It's an. If it takes a dice roll, it's an action.
Right. Okay. It will fight defensively. Because I can't think of anything better to do. And then it is Zello's turn. Any ranged attack against it will be upgraded difficulty now because the Stallion is engaged with it.
I'm going to take a shot at it, no pun intended.
Alright, so that's that. I have...
Can aim again. You have that option.
Pardon?
Can aim again.
No, I think I'm going to do something active, you know?
No, you can use your maneuver to aim and then shoot as your action.
Oh, okay, cool. Then I'll do that.
Right, so I'll put in the 2 blues because you were already aimed last turn. So I've put in all of your conditional bonuses and your difficulty. So just...
Let's do it.
He's got 2 reds, right?
Oof.
Well, either or, he's failed. Perhaps that's 2 reds. Oh, because he was it. Yeah. Anyway, that's fine. We will go with that. Lots of advantages, no successes. What do we want to do with the advantages?
I'd like to spook it a little bit and keep it sort of like pinned down.
Okay. We can give it two blacks, 2 setbacks with that, and then you'd have 1 boost to throw to the next ally if you like.
I'm going to give that to Estelia because she's engaged.
You have to have 2 advantages to give it to a specific person.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a
One
dummy.
boost will just
Okay,
let you give it to whoever's next.
Okay, cool. Then I'll just do that.
All right. Very good. Yep, you've sort of opened it up, given it a few, setbacks, and it is the start of a new round. So any PC can now go. If you like, Estelle, you could hit it and then move away, meaning that we would then have free shots against it.
That's exactly what I would like. Estelia gets the hint.
Yeah.
Figuring the boost, it was for her.
Right.
Yeah, so boost. And that. We don't have anything in there. I've got to take those out of there. Okay, and we are using this skill. Okay.
Aha.
So 2, 4, 7 points of damage to it. And she will move. She will move here.
I will move in then. And what, I need to be 30 feet, right? For short?
So that's short where you are now.
Or medium.
That's short. Yeah.
So yeah. So I'll do that and then aim. And take another shot at this thing.
Alright, have you put in all of the stuff or do you want me to put in your difficulties?
So I need... So we're 2 purples and a red?
1 purple and a red from where you are currently.
Sweet. Okay. Where am I? Right here. Alright.
Okay.
What'd I get there?
3 advantages.
Alrighty. Well.
You miss it.
Can we can learn a weakness with advantages, or does that require a triumph?
I do have my cheat sheet here somewhere. I'm not sure if that's 3 or more. 1 second. Here we go. 3 advantages. Here we go. So it doesn't have a defensive bonus. We can ignore environmental penalties. That's nothing. We can get a melee or range defense. We can disarm. We can't disarm the target because it's not armed. We can activate a critical with 3. No, there's no learn.
Okay. Activating a crit doesn't require success. You can just activate one?
No, you do not.
It requires a success.
I thought so. Okay. So, but we can give it strain.
Yeah.
So...
Can you?
I think so.
No.
I think so.
No.
No.
No? Shoot. All right. Well, then I guess those are just going to be boosts for the next people.
You heal strain?
Next person. Heal strain. Yeah, that's true. I can heal. I only took 1 so far, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll heal 1, and that leaves 2
to pass on.
Boosts for the next person. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
I'll take it then.
Next person, yeah.
Nice.
Cool. I'm going to aim. I'm going to take 2 more strain to do it again. And let's see. And I can put everything in.
All right. I'll make sure everything's clear. Yep.
Blue, 1 purple, 1 red.
Gotcha.
No, I aimed twice. That's... You passed on 1 boost?
She passed... Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa. Nice.
9 stun damage.
Whoa.
And I'll use that to activate another crit.
Alrighty. So this roll will be plus 10. Increased difficulty of all intellect and cunning checks. Okay. It's a head ringer. Nice.
Intellect and cunning check.
All right.
That's
okay.
2 crits.
Yep.
Nice.
It's reeling, definitely. And that was 3 PCs, so technically it actually gets a turn.
No, don't let it have a turn.
All right.
It has 2 black dice.
Yeah.
And
2 black dice.
Because somebody passed on 2 black dice to it.
Yep.
Strain, yep.
Strain.
No, so it's got 2 setbacks. It's going to make a melee check. Of course it's going to go after Jeef because he's the one that's been doing the crits. And
Have anything amazing? Probably not. Yeah, all I have is soak. Go for it.
That's fine. Two of those. And you know what? Let's do...
Oh, crit me back.
So, what's going to happen here is you're going to take... you're going to take 7 damage less your soak.
Okay.
And instead of critting you, it's going to activate its ensnare quality, and it has you gripped in its tentacles.
Okay. So what does that mean mechanically?
Mechanically, you are immobilized, i.e. you can't move, and when you start your turn, if it's still alive, then you take strain and wound damage just from being in its grip.
Chief, no.
Do something about it.
Alright, so that's its turn. It is Zello's turn because he hasn't acted this round.
And he had to step out.
He had to step out. Alright.
Make him aim and shoot.
Yeah. Alright, so we've got...
What's he got?
We'll clear everything out.
Good. Good. 2.
Let's have a look at his previous...
2 greens.
2 greens.
And a red. The purple's already upgraded to a red. Is it add a purple in this case, since the creature's engaged with allies?
So it'd be...
Red.
No, it'd be 2 red instead of a purple.
Ouch.
Let me go back to his original dice roll here. Make sure that we're doing the right thing. So he gets 2 yellows. Oh, that was his cool roll. That was his cool roll.
He's got 2 greens in his ranged light, and he's in short range now, so it should only be 1 purple. But it gets upgraded because of adversary, so there's a red.
1 purple, 1 red,
a
and
red. And then for
2
being
purples.
engaged, it's supposed to up.
Yeah, got it. 2 purples and a red.
It shouldn't be 2 purples.
Purple for short range.
That gets upgraded because he's an adversary.
Yeah, 1 purple, 1 red. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay.
And he's got a blue in there because he's aiming, and go team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go, Zillow.
Nice job.
2. And will we say he's using a trank?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's technically 8 + 4.
We don't want to end up killing this thing on accident.
No. Well, I mean, it's 21.
I don't know. At this point, maybe, since I'm grabbed by it.
Well, there is that. We got to get you loose.
Technically, it is still up. Barely. It's on its last leg.
Can his advantage be that it lets go of Jeef?
Not with 1, no.
Okay. But it's staggering. It's having a tough time.
Yeah, definitely. So PCs. So do we want... Oh, we don't want a stallion to attack it.
Oh man, if
Not really. Yeah, it probably needs to be me.
All right.
Take the strain. Do it.
Yeah, I will totally take the strain.
Yeah.
I will double aim.
Yeah.
All right, and it's one purple,
One
one red.
Yeah.
Two blues.
I'm gonna use a light side point and upgrade the roll.
All right.
Because it's staggering and we have an advantage. And
I don't think we have a light side point right now.
You do, because I used one.
Light side.
Yep, he used
one.
one.
Oh, okay.
Thank goodness. All right, and down to my blaster.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 advantages.
5 advantages. Holy wow. Well, what is the 9? Does the 9 damage take it down in the anyway?
Yeah. Sure does.
All right. So it lets go of Jeef. However many of those advantages that takes. And if there's any advantages left over, it goes down without any further damage to it.
Okay. Yeah, well, obviously it lets him go, yeah. Cool. So we'll just put it in the GM layer, because it's technically defeated.
Nice.
So you've defeated one of the two.
Wow, got one to go. Should we take a break?
Yeah.
Before we...
I reckon it's about that time. So, yeah, we will take a short break, and we will be back with the rest of this encounter, which is defeating the second Dianoga, and hopefully, again, bringing it down to an unconscious state so that it will still be part of the zoo. So yeah, we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Sweet.
Alright. Well, at least some of us are back. We're just about ready to go. So, what I might get from Mineth then, because you're here, is I'll get a discipline check from you to see if you can overcome this fear that you've had. Excuse me. Because you've defeated one of these things just with this group, and you're probably feeling a little bit better about it than what you were. So,
nice.
So it'll be a discipline check. It'll be average, still with the setback from being afraid before. Let me just make sure that everything is clear on my end. Yep. So yeah, so it should be 2 purples and a black for you, and just discipline.
Alrighty. Well, this is gonna hurt.
Alright, so you're still afraid, and we will add another point of strain. So how much strain are you on at the moment?
Well, I took one off using advantage earlier.
Alright.
So I'm actually back to 0, and well, I'm now at 1 again. So.
All right, but you are still afraid, unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Welcome back. Just got our trader to roll for discipline to see if she could overcome her fear, and apparently not.
We rolled cooler discipline to get.
Technically, it's 1 encounter for all of it. So, once we've defeated the next one, yes. But not for this one. So, I'm guessing we just, being that the apex predator is in the other one, we're just gonna open, move, open, release, just the same as you did before.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I will need you there because that's where the controls are. Is everyone else where they want to be in preparations for this? Star, you'll sort of be in the middle here.
I am now.
All right. We will basically be at the start of a new round. We'll just go on the same initiative as we've been because it's technically 1 encounter. It's the start of a new round because we've all gotten ready, and that's the best place to start. So, PC. Who wants to take the first shot?
I guess I'll jump in first then and take a shot with the trank.
Alright.
Let's see. And so, where are we with difficulty at this point? Are we back to just straight up average, or?
From where you are, so you are medium, so it's 1 purple, 1 red, because it is still an adversary one.
Okay. And still a black for being afraid?
Yep.
Okay. This is gonna be challenge. Go. Ah.
Nice.
But I managed to hit.
Did you aim twice?
You know what? I forgot to do that, but
Well, the dice are saying that you did.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
So, do you want to just take a 2 strain?
That's weird. I don't have any blue in my pool. Yeah, I'll just take 2 strain because that's. I really should have done that anyway. So.
Okay.
Cool. And then, I guess the threats are yours to.
Free maneuver. I'm just trying to make sure that everything's cleared out. Alright. So it's going there. We have another PC.
I'll go.
Alright.
I'm going to aim, and I'm going to fire again.
Okay, so... I'll put the aim in. It's short range with Predator and engaged. Alright. That's the difficulty. So you can just click on your... No, you fail.
Wonderful.
With 4 advantages. So what would we like to do with those 4 advantages?
In keeping with the theme of it being a failure, I think I'm going to attract it to me.
All right. So we'll give it a free maneuver. So that's one. That's 2 of those advantages.
Hold on.
Yep.
Advantages are supposed to help us, not it.
Well, I'm keeping it distracted.
Yeah. So it doesn't get a free maneuver.
So...
It's just going to be fixated on you. So you make yourself a target for... Okay. For, say, 2. It's not going to get a free move. That's a good point. Thank you, Jim. Got 2 advantages still up your sleeve.
Could I give a boost to one of my allies?
Yep, so you could give 1 boost to your choice of ally, or you could give 2 boosts to the next ally.
I'm going to give 2 boosts to whoever goes down.
Alright, you've made yourself a target. It's sort of looking at you. It's making it so that it's much easier to hit it.
Zella looks around and says, I'd really like if we could wrap this up really soon.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think about drawing my weapon. I look at Estelia and go, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I gotta tell you, that wouldn't hurt my feelings either.
So Estelia will be in melee, 1-on-1, and nothing bonus. Nope. Ooh. Hello. Hello, Poppet. So I could crit with the advantages and do something vital with that, or I could crit with the triumph and pass on a whole stack of boosts. I might pass on a whole stack of boosts, I think, and crit with the triumph. It's not attached to anyone, so yeah, I'll crit with the triumph. So, let's... 68. Scattered senses. The target removes all boost from skill checks until the end of the encounter. Okay? So he can't get boosts.
Alright, so then it's my turn.
And you've got 4 blues. Wouldn't it go first, though? Sorry.
Oh, you are correct.
Yep. So... Stelia's the one that crit it. Guess it'll go for Stelia. So... 2 and 2. Where are we at? Clear out that. Clear out this. 2 for melee. 2. Stelia's got a defense because she's... And off we go. Alright. So... 9 points of damage, less soak. Stelia takes 5. Now you can go, sir.
Alright. Within short range. Dental. Take 2 points of strain so I can aim. That's 65. I apologize. Oh.
Should have 5 boosts then.
With 1 purple and 1 red.
Yes. Okay. You succeed!
Wow.
Lucky you had all of those blues. Gosh.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
That's
So 7.
7.
And it's with your weapon, right?
Yeah, it's stun. So. And give a blue to whoever goes next.
Okay. Which is a new round.
There's the critical button, by the way. It popped up in the top left.
Oh. There you go.
Yep, I see it now. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I guess I'll step back in.
Yeah, like you're engaged with it, so...
So that makes sense. And that... Yeah. I'm engaged alright. Holy cow. So is it still 1 purple and 1 red for me then, or is it easier?
No, it's actually harder. To use a ranged weapon while engaged.
So it would be 2 reds right now.
Oh, ouch. All right. And no points to use. Okay. Well, I'm going to aim twice. So I'll take 2 more strain. Oh no!
She didn't succeed.
No!
Not only did I not succeed, I rolled a despair. Some advantages.
Golly.
But you hit your ally when you succeed and roll a despair. Oh, you didn't succeed, which is really good.
Well,
that's good, I guess, then.
Okay. So, with that, your You used your melee. So, okay. The creature with that despair will...
Oh, I pushed... You're right. I clicked the wrong one. Oh, well.
Did you mean to use your ranged weapon?
Well, yeah.
So...
But...
Clear out, right? Everything.
Yeah.
And then... What would you usually get above and beyond a green?
I don't know. Let's see.
So, clear everything out and just shoot, and we'll take off a green. All right.
Let's
and
see.
Then we'll...
The blaster is... Well, the range light is 2 yellow.
Right. Okay.
So yeah. All right. So should I just roll a yellow? Add a yellow to the...
Yeah, just roll a yellow. That sounds reasonable.
I want to be fair.
Okay. So...
What would that do?
So it gets rid of the 2 failures, but it's still a wash as far as...
Yeah, still
successes.
No success. That's fair.
Yeah. Right, so... Yeah. With the despair, your gun, the one with the tranquilizer gun, will break.
Mm-hmm.
So it cannot be used for till the end of, for the encounter. With those 3 advantages.
Oh, well, but I think we'd just keep passing boosts on.
All right, we've got a boost
to the next folks, and so Minith says, "It's all up to you, Zello. The trank gun broke. And
lovely.
I'll switch my my regular blaster. I'll pull it out and switch it to stun.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a dark side point here. And I'm going to make the creature grab onto you. You've tried to shoot it, you've left yourself vulnerable, your gun's broken, and you're grabbed.
Ah! Get me out of here!
Yep. So that is your turn. We've got 2 PCs before it goes. Who wants to take it? Or Estelle, you can go. Got stunned silence. So...
I think I'll have Zello go again.
Alright.
He's going to aim again and fire again.
Perfect.
You can spend 2 strain to aim a second time.
Oh, let's do that. Let's double aim.
Alright, I've got 2 boosts in there. Should be able to press the button.
It's like 5 boosts.
Oh. 2, 1. Oh, because, sorry, it's my bad. Because another 3 were passed on, is that right?
That's
another 2 were passed on. I'll just roll 2 more for you.
3 were passed on, and he took 2.
He's already got 3 in his roll.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. You don't succeed. You've got 2 advantages.
I'm going to give a boost to the next person.
Cool. And Jeef, would you wait for Estalia, or would you want to go?
I'd go.
All right.
Right. So, a purple and a red. Gosh, this is becoming super dangerous. I'll aim twice.
Okay.
4 boosts, a purple and a red.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What the heck?
7 advantages.
Get all those advantages. Go
And
team.
no successes. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use 2, 4, 6 of them to. My firing is causing so much distraction that it is having to focus on not being hit, so it's going to have 3 setback die on its next turn.
Right.
I'm going to pass. I'm not going to pass a boost. I'm going to heal a strain.
Okay. So 3 setbacks.
Might as well break the chain.
It's focusing on Mineth at the moment. It's got 3 setbacks. It's in melee. It's normal attack. You can't get any blues.
Oh my god! What?
So,
wow. Okay, you guys, we need a
thing.
So Mineth, you take 7 damage less your soak.
Okay.
It will crit.
Ouch. Let go of me.
For 42.
Oh, no. No.
You are knocked.
Apparently
You are knocked prone. So you are completely. I'm going to narrate knocked prone as this. It lifts you up in the air with its grip, and you take an additional strain. It has you up in the air. You are very uncomfortable, and with those 2 advantages, it
slams me to the.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Just fits. Like, her fears were totally founded.
You're gonna be a jerk and
Mineth,
heal strain, aren't
never
you?
give the DM ideas.
I can't heal strain because it doesn't take strain. I will. What I want to do is this. I want to slam you into Estelia and send her like toppling away because he's sick of the melee. So I'm gonna send Estelia a range band away. I'm not gonna do any damage because I can't. Like it's not part of that. But two advantages to basically cause Estelia to be tossed away by the force of your body pounding against hers.
Wow.
Okay. And
it's like when a kid smashes 2 action figures together.
Yeah.
Right?
And PC, so it's technically Estalia's turn. How much damage have you taken?
Not that much, like 4.
4. And what strain are you on at the moment?
Oh, actually, I'm at 6 strain.
6 strain. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, Estelia will... Oh, gosh. Move in. She will attack. Clear everything here out. 1, 1. And... I'll clear this out and I'll put it on hers. 1, 1, and... Okay. So she'll take... actually, you know what? No, she's not going to take strain. With another one of its tentacles, it's going to pick up Estelia too. Both of you are picked up at this stage. So, and then Estelia will do 3, 6, 8 damage to it. Less its soak. Okay. So we've got 2 people in the air being picked up by this creature. We're in a new round. Who wants to go? I'm almost ready to call for a generic fear check because this is getting scary. But I can't just yet. I don't think so. Go ahead, whoever wants to go.
Okay. I'm going to aim, but only once. 1 blue, 1 purple, 1 red.
Nice.
Okay.
Wherever that critical button that you had, or whatever you were using the first time, is probably better, I reckon, because it actually reads the result rather than me finding the card.
I actually didn't want to crit.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Wanted to use that triumph to cause them to drop Minith.
Okay.
And that's 9 points of stun.
9 points of stun. Alrighty.
I didn't catch that first part of what you said. You broke up. I heard my name though.
I just passed the go ahead.
He's dropping you, basically. He's getting you dropped.
Yay.
Cool. So yeah, the creature drops you. You land on the ground. It still has a Estelia technically. Yeah, technically. So yeah, we are PC, another PC. Because that's so we've had we've had Estelia and we've had Jeef.
Well, if Zello's not chomping at the bit to go, then I guess I will. I scramble for my blaster and set it to stun. And
so that'll be a maneuver.
I'm gonna shoot it on stun.
All right. You so it's 2 reds.
2 reds. And at this point, I am not taking any more strain to aim or anything. I'm just gonna... Actually, I'm gonna aim once.
Okay.
And let's make sure I get my actual weapon this time.
Nice.
Okay.
Much better.
So 8.
8. And it's a crit. Cool.
Do you want a crit?
Yes.
Alright. It's already being crit.
Oh, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to recover strain.
Okay. Probably a better plan.
A better plan, because we don't want to... Cool.
Yeah.
And then I scramble. I kind of move back away from this thing.
So technically it was a new round. So we've got one more PC before it goes.
Technically.
Then it can't be. Yeah. So it's got to be. Hang on. Is that right? 2. Yeah. So Connor.
Mm-hmm.
It's only you at this stage.
Sounds good. Hate to be boring, but I'm gonna aim and fire again. Actually, no. I've no. Yeah, I'm gonna aim and fire.
All right. Hang on. So adversary. So short range. I've got to keep doing this in my head. Short range upgraded because of adversary. So it's a purple and a red.
Okay. Go.
Sorry, I'll just roll it.
No, I rolled it. Oh, okay.
So no.
All right.
Come on. Okay. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4 advantages, but no success. Do we want to give it setbacks because it's about to go? Or...
Is that a thing I can do?
Yeah, you can give it 2 setbacks with that many.
I would love to do that.
2 setbacks. It's already got Astalia, so it's focusing on her. Melee check with a defense and... Okay. 3, so 8. 8 wounds to Astalia, less her soak, which is 4, so there we go. Okay. And it takes a point of damage. And we are player.
Astalia.
Is it? Okay, yeah. Well, she can't do much except for hit it. But she's lifted up. Gonna... Don't do that. It's being lifted up. Okay. Nope. She thrashes around. It's totally focused on eating her at this point. And being that as it may, in fact, what I'll do is I'll spend another dark side point, and I'm going to toss Astalia into its mouth. And with those 3 advantages, as she gets gobbled up, well, swallowed, as she gets swallowed, obviously its attention is completely on her. So there's 3 boosts to whoever goes next.
Want it. I'll take it. That means there's technically nobody engaged that I can see and accidentally hit, right?
Correct.
Okay. So now we're back to just 1 red.
Correct.
And that's 3 boosts. I'm going to aim twice, take the 2 strain. Team.
Yeah.
So 9.
And stun, yeah.
Nice work.
That is
Dude.
enough to bring it down.
Oh, I'm gonna heal 2 strain with those last 2 then. Okay.
All right. Yeah. It falls into a state of unconsciousness. You hear you hear a squelching pounding coming from inside the creature.
I run up there and like, come on, you guys, let's get her out of there. And I don't know. I
put my hand on your shoulder and I say, "We can't cut it open. We have to have both of them." I grab the mouth, pry it open. Get out!
And
Get out!
I grab Estelia's hand and help her.
Right. So I need athletics.
Spend a.
Oh, you can spend a story point to just do it.
Spend a story point.
You pull Estelia from the creature's stomach, gasping for air.
Are you in one piece?
She says, "Yes, but my sword is gone."
Oh, no. Oh, well, at least you're okay. Let's get out of here. Let's get away from this damn thing.
Agreed. All right, so okay. That was cool. You've managed to defeat them. Now you can roll cool or discipline at the end of the encounter to heal strain.
Nice.
The dice pools are cleared out.
Yes, they are.
Cool.
Discipline.
Yeah, I think discipline for me too. Wow. Okay, lots of so that triumph, those triumphs, should I say?
Nice.
I'm wondering whether we it's not technically part of the game, but perhaps we could heal actual wounds with those triumphs. I'm not sure. I mean, it's my game. I can DM how I want. If you want to,
can absolutely do whatever you want. Right?
Yeah. So if you want to, you can use those triumphs to heal the same amount of wounds as you have healed strain. If you don't want to use them for that and you want to use them for something else, then by all means do that.
Yes.
Advantages don't heal strain in this roll.
Correct.
Successes.
Correct.
Oh, so it's actually...
So, Mineth gets 3 strain back, and if she wants to, she can have 3 wounds back because she rolled a triumph. Normally, that's not what would happen, but I'm the DM.
I like it.
I
like the way you roll.
Sure. So, yep, you've been successful. You can report back to the Intergalactic Menagerie. And what they give you is a free ticket, all like VIP ticket to for this menagerie. And if you... So there's 2 ways to use this ticket. If you decide to attend, then basically what the ticket gives you is inspiration in the form of the D&D 5e mechanic inspiration, which will mean that you can hand it in for a free re-roll of any skill check at any time. If you do not want to attend, you can sell the ticket for 100 credits. So it's your choice, and they will also, as a party gift, give the party a a music box. That's a music box with mystical powers, apparently.
Ooh.
I want the music box.
You want the music box?
Don't you dare take that apart, Jeef.
No, I'll just keep it safe over here. And
I'm imagining a
I had
very
already
Zoolander.
sat down with it and then looking over my shoulder back at you like, what? Don't do what to it?
Don't you dare. Don't.
I'm imagining a very Zoolander. Where did all the files go?
I know. So, yep, that's our rewards.
Imagining putting Fang to sleep with it.
What about the small, non-hostile creature that they didn't have in the menagerie?
Right. So, how do we do this? I reckon. It's a flat negotiation check. For every success, they will pay you. Let's say. For every success, I'll give you 100 credits. All right.
You want some help with that, Chief?
I prefer not to be the one to do it, but I probably need to be.
Yeah. So, no difficulty.
Oh.
Let me double
Okay.
check that
I rolled in.
Yep.
Or I will attempt that roll, excuse me.
Use an upgrade.
Here, I'll spend a story point.
All right. It's there to spend, right?
Yeah.
May as well.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Negotiation, right?
Yeah.
Go, Jeef.
200 credits they give you for that. And with those two advantages, they will be very impressed and thankful. And you know what? You are into, like, knick-knacky things, right? So, with those two advantages, they are going to give you... It is like it's like an astrolabe. I'm gonna give you an astrolabe.
Oh, cool. I mean, like a boost on astrogation checks or something, or is it just nice to have?
It's a cool thing, and so the thing that it'll do is when you are scrounging for materials, if you spin it, it can detect metallic objects or metals that could be valuable. So you can use it when you are scrounging to basically give you a bit of a boost to what you find.
Neat. To use my let's see, where is it? Get into combat. I'm going to use my... Where did it go? Redundant systems.
Yep.
I'd like to make an easy mechanics check from the still working stun gun.
Yep.
To fix the one that's broken without breaking either of them.
Okay. Go ahead.
Because, I mean, hey, it's something to fix, and I've already kind of got myself set up as I don't like returning things in worse condition than we borrowed them.
Nice.
Hey. Oh, now the rolls do well.
Yeah.
You fixed them to a point that they were even better than when you found them. When you were given them.
Nice.
Cool. So.
Totally down with that.
Yep. You've tied up all of that stuff. Cool. Let's take you to the next screen. What time is it? It's fine. Alrighty. I'm going to take you over here. This is just so that you can sort of see what the spaceport looks like on Tamazan.
Nice.
So you make your way there, and you will meet Liha Khans, who you have a character sheet in your journal for. I'm pretty sure I made sure that he is under the Tamazan section. And so on first impressions, he has the airs of an administrator, of a military administrator, but of an administrator rather than a fighter. Obviously, you guys will let him know that you've come from Skavath to answer the call. And he will tell you about his problem. He says that this base has been training some new pilots for the last 6 months or so. They have received some shipments of a prototype A-Wing. We got this prototype is the R-22 Spearhead. Basically, they've received 2 shipments of these Spearheads. They received a dozen 6 months ago, and they received another dozen 3 months ago. And basically, these Spearheads are being used by their top pilots, by their most experienced pilots. They're basically the commanders of their fleets to head those fleets up. Because these A-Wings are significantly greater technology, significantly greater firepower than normal A-Wings. Most of their fleet is A-Wings. But these prototypes are just above and beyond in every capacity. In turning, in firepower, in armor. They top the list. And basically, overnight, 12 of these Spearheads, an entire dozen, have been stolen from their military base. Chief is drooling. Alrighty.
Wait, 12 have been stolen?
Yes. Now, what he says is that without specific training, even if you've been trained on an A-Wing, you can't fly one of these prototypes without specific training, without further training.
So whoever stole them had to know what they were doing.
They had to know what they were doing. They came by force. They came when the other 12 were out on training maneuvers. So most of our pilots were in those 12 off-world on maneuvers when this strike happened, which is why they were successful. They shot to kill, and many staff, including some of their great pilots, have been shot down in cold blood. They can give you the recordings of the incident, and what they want you to do, what he wants you to do, is to find out who took them, and to either diplomatically or by force, and obviously he would help you with that force, with the others, get them back. He says in no uncertain terms, this attack was planned, it was surgical, and basically our defense force for this entire planet is put into jeopardy by this happening. Yes, our pilots can fly the others, but this is a lot of cash that we've invested, and it's a lot of firepower that in the wrong hands could totally ruin someone's day. 12 of these fighters could bring down something big. So, yeah.
I hate to do this, sir, but from what you're describing, it seems that you shouldn't rule out this being an inside job.
Agreed, he says.
We may have to ask some of your employees, some of your underlings, some uncomfortable questions.
You have absolute authority, and he'll grab a data pad, and he'll say, this data pad has uplinks to our entire defense staffing software. Obviously, you can't get into our highly restricted files, but as far as finding out what happened during that day, history of anything about any of their personnel is pretty much on there. So here is that. He just gives it to you, and he says, along with that, here is and on that data pad screen there'll be each of your names. He'll take each of your names and he'll input them into there, and he'll say has my complete authority as spaceport administrator to ask any questions, and basically anyone that is his staff has to obey that because they're his staff. So you've got all of that authority in that one data pad. He says don't lose it, and please bring it back when you're done with it. So that data pad is yours. And he says, look, whatever you have to ask, whatever you have to do, it needs to be done.
Does this also give us access to logins we may need?
Logins by what do you mean exactly?
I mean, you said we have absolute authority. Are there any doors that we can't go through, for instance?
Are there any doors you can't go through?
Women's restroom. That's about it.
The short answer is not really. You have pretty much complete access. I suppose there might be some storerooms that have like very sensitive things in them that he might restrict from you. But if you need access to them, he can...
already looked in there, right?
He can, like, guide you.
You've already looked in those restricted hangars.
Yeah. Like, so he's giving you access to everything that's pertinent.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm trying to find the right words to tell you. Pertinent is a good word.
That is a good word. And I'm sorry, what is his name again?
His name is Aliha Khans.
Oh, I see him now. Okay.
So, yeah, in the Tamaz-An, you'll be able to see he's a Verk, just like Skavath is, and he's the Planetary Defense Force Administrator here on Tamazan.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow. Tall order.
Yeah. Who knew? So yeah, you've got access to all of the video feed. So it's military grade hardware that you're looking at. So there's slight pixelations, but it's pretty clear. So anything that you want to see, you pretty much can see. But I don't know which area you want to go to first, whether you want to go to the computer footage or whether you want to go to questioning people or how you want to go about things. So I'll ask you then, RP this for 40 minutes or call it a night and come back next game with a plan, some solo work. Yeah, it's up to you guys. What are we thinking? Do we want to go away and have a think about what we might want to do? Do we want to do it now? Up to you guys.
I kind of want to think about it, yeah.
And it could give us an opportunity to... Things that we think about, we're all good at something different.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to... Like, so what...
How to leverage that.
What's your initial reaction? Yeah, like, everybody come back in an hour.
Right. Yeah.
Here,
and you've got time. Like he says, you know, he's not expecting this to be right at the second. So you've got time to plan it out. See what you're going to do. So, absolutely. Cool. All right, then. Well, I'm sure that as the players that you are, the people that you will go away and think about it and not just forget it for the next 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Off screen, I will give you XP and what's not. But for today, thank you, Chris, Jim, and Connor for playing. They've been playing Mineth, Jeef, and Zello, respectively. And I really appreciate you guys coming and playing. Hopefully you're enjoying the campaign. Next time, obviously, we will decide on a course of action surrounding how we're going to do this investigation, what exactly we're going to look at, and see if we can figure out who stole these spearheads in such a bold and surgical manner. I've been Matt and
Wonderful A-Wings.
Mm.
Well, those are my favorite ships.
They're not completed yet, so it's not a long A, it's short A. They're just A-Wings.
A-Wings. Indeed.
Quite done yet.
All right, so this
it's a lowercase A-Wing.
Yeah. All right, catch you later, anyone that's been watching.